Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about something very frustrating and annoying, and something I know all Nintendo Switch users will have experienced at some point, whether it was their friends, themselves, or they've just seen it on the internet. And that is of course the Joy-Con drift. Now with all that said, roll that intro. So, if you don't know what the Switch Joy-Con drift is, it's basically when your character on the screen moves automatically. So, you obviously use your motion stick to move, but it's when on the screen it moves automatically without you pressing or holding it down or doing anything. That's what it is. I have this problem myself. I have this problem which is so frustrating. Really annoying, and I know people who have had that problem. I know people who have tried to fix the problem. There are ways to fix this problem. There are ways to just go ahead and buy new ones, but I'm going to be talking about it all today. Now, before I talk about anything about what we're going to be talking about today, two things I want to say here is that I am not hating on Nintendo. I'm just saying about this big problem which needs to be fixed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, hating on them or anything like that. Second thing is, as we'll be talking about, trying to sort these controllers out, I'm going to try and suggest not just go buy new ones because of what it can end up actually being. They're the two disclaimers I just wanted to say before we started this video. So what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the future for Nintendo, so things like the Lite, the OLED, and obviously new consoles coming out, the problem and how to fix it and everything like that. And we're just going to be talking about actual Nintendo, what they've been going through and everything, because there have been some things with court. We're not going to go too far into that, but it will be mentioned, and obviously much more like that. The first thing I want to say here is that with the OLED and the Lite, this problem has not been fixed. So when the Switch Lite was announced, Nintendo had confirmed that there would be no changes to the Joy-Cons. No changes to stop the drifting. By then, it had already become a huge problem. I'd been going for ages with my problem. Mine had been drifting so much for ages. And then when that was announced, everyone thought, hey, this is going to be, it's going to improve it. Nintendo Switch, I guess, was just a misfire. It was still a good console, but it had the drifting problem. Been fixed now. No, that's not what happened. They decided to leave it. And that's what is very frustrating and annoying about it and loses that trust to Nintendo, is that the fact that most studios and game companies and anything like that will change it. It's same with film companies. For example, Paramount changed the Sonic design because everyone hated it. You're spending a lot of money on something, and if it's a very bad problem, they will make sure they fix it. When you pay a lot of money for something, most places, most companies, most studios will make sure you get the best out of it. You're paying the best, and you're getting the best out of it. Nintendo didn't do that. They have not repaired these yet. The Joy-Cons have not been repaired yet. Realistically, I don't know if another Switch version will be released. There's already three. The normal, the Lite, and the OLED. And I've tried all three of these out. I've tried all three of them out. They haven't all drifted yet, but they do. It happens. They all drift. And it's hard for Lite players who have the Switch Lite because they can't just take the Joy-Cons off and try and do something with them, because a way of doing it, and what some people do, is they have been taking their controllers apart and placing little pieces in, or rubbing through the dust and everything. I will admit, I have done it once. I've tried to do it once. I took it apart, was very careful with what I did. I put a tiny piece of card on the plate of the motion stick, and it hasn't repaired it. I did it a long time ago. It hasn't made a difference. It hasn't made it worse. It hasn't made a difference. So it's just a waste of time. That's all it is. It's literally just a complete waste of time doing that. And there are other ways on the internet of doing it. One way, and a lot of people have suggested, is sending your controllers off. So you can send them off to Nintendo. Nintendo don't advertise this as much, because they would rather you go and pay loads of money to get new ones, only for them to start drifting sometime later. That's why I've tried to avoid that. I still got the same Joy-Cons as what I had. Yes, I am going to be doing something to get them sent off or to get new ones, because I don't want to have to cope with this, and I will probably end up sending mine off because I don't want to pay for new ones for them just to drift. You don't pay to send them off. You don't pay any money. You send them off to Nintendo, they will realistically send you new ones. I don't know how long it takes for them to actually ship it and everything, but that's basically what happened. On the Nintendo website, they allow that, but they don't advertise as much because they would like you to buy new ones. That's Nintendo. So what about Nintendo? What have they gone through with this problem? They have received many, many complaints about this problem. Many, many complaints. They've been to court about this. There's been a lot of court cases about it, and there's been a lot of fines involved and cases involved, and it's still going on. And if I'm honest, I would like Nintendo to lose. I would like Nintendo to lose this, because then they will learn that you have to choose your company over money. Because it's all about money here. With Nintendo, it is about the money. That's what it's about. And it's like with the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 struck a problem. They had a problem going on. They went and fixed it. They went and fixed that problem because they knew that their company was in more trouble than them earning less or more money. That was their main concern, and they managed to fix the problem. But Nintendo are just making it worse by refusing to fix it. They're just not fixing it. When they're releasing so many new versions, which still continue to drift, what is the point? Because that's a lot of money being lost for Nintendo, and so many more people, especially over the past couple of years, like during lockdown where people were buying more Switches, it became a massive problem because so many more people were finding out about it. I knew about it even before lockdown. And it's such a shame because the Switch is such a good console when it comes to games, gameplay, different things like that. The Switch has enough problems as it is. Tiny little controllers, storage issues, price issues, their game prices just don't go down. They make enough money as it is, and then making controllers which drift. It's a massive, massive problem, and I have had this problem a lot playing through a lot of games. And there are certain little companies which have made little controllers, little Joy-Cons which you can put on your Switch and play, and they've had relatively good reviews. And personally, the fact that these are 50 quid cheaper just shows how they have had that same problem, and they just want to play their Switch in handheld mode. The Switch was made for handheld mode, and if you're not a person who doesn't have a Pro Controller, I do have a Pro Controller, then you have to use these Joy-Cons all the time, handheld mode and on the TV. You have to use them on handheld mode regardless, and they drift on handheld mode on the TV, everything like that. And another problem I want to point out is that my red Joy-Con has completely died. It just doesn't want to work anymore. The light will not come on anymore. The little flashing light will not come on anymore. It doesn't want to. I will show this off in a second, that it just doesn't want to. I will come and show it off. My blue one is definitely on the last legs, but the red one, the light won't even come on, and I cannot connect it to the Switch. I can't connect it wireless and play a game like Super Mario Party. And now there are certain games which I cannot play because of the drift and because of these rubbish controllers which drift and just disconnect after a while. I can't play Nintendo Switch Sports anymore. I can't play Super Mario Party. I don't think I can. I can't really play Ring Fit Adventure either. Those 3 games are expensive games. And the fact that I just can't even play them anymore because of these Joy-Cons, I think is really bad. So, like I said, I'm going to show you my Joy-Cons. Alright, so here we are on the Switch menu right here. So, this is obviously my red Joy-Con and this is my blue one. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that at one point I did buy these little things. Now, these things can go just on here. I did buy them. They help you with like your grip and everything. I do recommend them. They won't make a difference to the drift, but if you're having gripping issues, that might help. And a problem I do have is that these just come off now. They literally just come off. Now, I know a lot of these problems might not just be aimed at Nintendo, but, you know. So if you go down to your system settings, you can go to controllers and sensors, and you can check if your controllers are up to date. If they're up to date, then that's all good, but that may cause a little problem with the controllers. I'm not sure, but you can go to calibrate control sticks and calibrate motion sticks as well. So if you calibrate your motion sticks, you can just do that. So I'm doing it with my red one right now. As you can see, it is okay right now. So it is alright, but what I find is when I play some games and then I come back on here, it becomes a problem. So if you try and calibrate it, it just doesn't even want to respond. That's what it does. It doesn't want to respond. There you go. And then that's not supposed to happen. That should be right in the middle there. And it's not. That's drifting. That's drifting as well. There. It needs to be right in the middle. So you calibrate them, but it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So that's the big problem here. Second thing I want to point out, so you take your Joy-Cons off, get your little stand, which always breaks off. I'm literally showing off everything about my stand and everything. I mean, the OLED did improve the stand, to be fair. So I'll give them that one. So, you connect this one. See the lights coming on? Boom. That's the blue one. Connect this one. The light doesn't even come on. That's just because it's been killed. These controllers are very, very cheaply made, and it won't even connect now. It won't connect. It won't do it. And you can go back, and this is the only one connected. It won't do it. Because it's just another problem with them. Another reason why they drift is because of how cheaply made they actually are. So, yeah. So, what does this mean for the future of Nintendo? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't have any trust that they will go ahead and repair them for the next Nintendo console. I just don't. They with this problem, they have just completely lost the trust. They've lost the trust that I have that guarantee that they will repair this. But they probably won't. And at least if they do, they won't advertise it. They won't make it clear. So, when the new Nintendo console comes out, well, of course, you know, loads of people are going to buy it. But people are going to be skeptical. Is this going to drift? And if it drifts, there's a problem. There's going to be a lot more money lost for Nintendo. So, it needs to be fixed. Everyone who's had this problem has complained, had this problem, tried to open up your controllers, buy new ones, do so much more to sort this out. But they just don't want to because of the money. It's the money problem. But I don't want to go too much into it because I understand that they are their own company. They do, you know, make games and everything. That is the company's job. But come on, Nintendo. This needs sorting. This is not okay. This really, really needs sorting. And if it isn't sorted, there's going to be a lot more problems coming. And if you can just go on the internet and just look at Nintendo Switch Joy-Con drift, so much will come up saying the exact same as what I've just said. I'm not even joking. So yeah.